Pick up. I'm on my way to another Hinge day. Let's see how it goes. Maybe this is the love of my life. How much you want to bet? So I was ghosted 1, 2, 3 times. One day I was like, you have free will. You don't need to respond if you don't want to. No joke. I literally thought it was the love of my life. How can I give you my number and you're asking for my socials instead at your huge age? I put myself on the clearance rack. You know the end of summer sale? Have you guys ever shopped in TK Maxx and then there's like clothes that have dropped on the floor and people are trampling all over them? Yeah, that's the position that I put myself in because I downloaded Hinge. I've literally heard nothing but bad things about Hinge. Like literally nothing but bad. Not even just Hinge, to be honest, like dating apps in general, but specifically Hinge. I just swore to myself I would never do dating apps. Like it's just not what I wanted my story to be. I didn't want to, if I ever did have kids one day, tell them, oh, mommy and daddy met on a dating app. Like it's just not what I wanted for myself. Nothing wrong with it if it works for you. If you like it, I love it. But it's just not what I wanted for myself. I wanted, oh, mommy and daddy met, I don't know, at the airport, or I don't know. I feel like everyone around me has had terrible experiences with dating apps, again specifically Hinge. Like they've met awful people. Even like my own experience with an app, again Hinge. I was dating some guy and I just had a suspicion that he was on the app, so I literally made a catfish profile allegedly to see if he was on there, and guess who was on there? Lo and behold, guess who was on there? Oh, his cheating dirty ass. So to me, my perception has always just been negative. Like it's full of avoidant men, cheaters, liars, manipulators, men that can't get girls. And so I downloaded it. I just wanted to find out, is it really possible to meet the love of your life, your soulmate, on Hinge? That's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about my finding. Stay tuned to find out. And because I don't go out of my way to approach men, my only options are the men that approach me, or the men that DM me, or the men that, or whatever the case may be. Those are my only options of men. Maybe when I was younger, yeah, it worked, but now I feel like I'm looking for something so specific, and I feel like that type of man is just not going to approach me. I don't know. Let me be a bit intentional, I guess, with this, because everyone's always like, oh, we'll come when you're least expecting, oh this, oh that. But it's like, if you're looking for a job, no one's going to tell you, oh, we'll come when you're least expecting it. No, they're going to tell you, you got to go out and apply. You got to go out and you got to do something. And so I feel like it's kind of the same with this. Like, I'm not telling you to go and like be hunting men down, asking for their numbers on the street, but I feel like you have to at least put yourself in a position to be seen or to be spoken to. And I also just feel like if you can't beat them, join them. We are in a treacherous men epidemic, and so I've got to try and exit the trenches somehow. Everyone is doing everything online, DMing people, and it's so funny because I will have someone who was literally in front of me, they won't say anything, and then they'll go and DM me when they were right there. And I just said, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. Like, what else am I meant to do? So I wanted to make it like a fun series. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the like 50 First Dates series and stuff. I wanted to do that, and I wanted to do that back in February. I had a blind date back in February, and I thought, okay, cool, this is going to be a great start. But it wasn't good timing. I had just started my PT course. That's when I kind of started my wellness coaching. So I was just so busy with that. And so I went through this extreme transformation and actually solely focusing on myself. By the way, these were my results. Yes, I am your wellness coach, girly. So if you do want coaching, you can apply it on my website. Shameless plug. Anyway, fast forward to September. I've sorted that all out now. Now I'm ready to find love. So I wanted to do 20 first dates. And I just thought, where am I going to meet enough men to do that? Like I said, I barely go out. I don't do anything. Go to the gym, just work. All my clients are women. That's it. So I started with Raya. The thing with Raya, I just thought it's not going to work because they're showing me people from Paris, Sweden, Switzerland, and you can't like edit and filter the way that you can on Hinge. Which is really annoying. They'd show me someone and they're literally in Paris, and I'm like, what am I meant to do that? And so I was like, do you know what? Let me just download Hinge and see if it makes any sense. Listen to me when I tell you this. When I first downloaded it, I was pleasantly surprised. There was fine shit everywhere. And I just thought, no, this cannot be the same Hinge that everyone hates. Sorry. I don't think you understand. Like the first few days, I was genuinely so overwhelmed. Oh, by the way, this is my profile. Oh my gosh, I was shocked because I thought I wasn't expecting that. You have to keep in mind, my filters were open. My age filters were 25 to 32. My location was like to the max, like 100 km or something like that. Open to all races, open to all religions. I think is that it? I didn't pay for it, so I couldn't filter out like smoking or anything. That is the one thing that if I paid for it, I would have filtered out, but I didn't pay, so I was just like, whatever. I just thought there's no way that this is the app that everyone's been complaining about. What? This app? With all the fine shit? I've got 2 phones, so in my other phone I got an eSIM, so I could just give them all that number, so they didn't have my actual number. So I had my Hinge phone and then I had my normal phone. So the first few days it was crazy, to the point where I had to delete the app, take a breather. I was so overwhelmed. There was fine shit everywhere. Like, what the Anyway, took a few days break, came back with a clearer mind, came back with on a mission like, okay, cool, we're gonna do this series, this 21st date series, we're gonna do it and we're gonna find the candidates. Okay, now can I just say, just because there was fine shit and just because there's so many options, that doesn't mean they were all viable. I think one thing that social media, and I've always said this, dating apps and like social media has ruined our perception of reality, because it just gives us the illusion of endless options, which I know is not the case, and I've been known that. So I think I came on the dating app with a very mature head. Just because there's options everywhere, it doesn't mean that they're all going to be the one for me. It doesn't mean that they're all going to be the love of my life. And I knew that. I honestly do think social media and like dating apps and stuff, I think it's honestly partially responsible for how treacherous the streets are, because no one values each other. Everyone thinks, you know what, there's no point working out issues, I can just find someone else tomorrow, which technically you can, but it's not going to be the same. But that's just something that you guys are going to have to figure out for yourselves. More choices doesn't actually correlate to better outcomes, and I was very aware of that. And I think because of that, I didn't get caught up with I didn't get caught up in all of it. So right, let's get into the matches. Okay, so funnily enough, guys, my first match, no joke, I literally thought was the love of my life. I think he was the first person to like me. I remember he said something that I wasn't feeling. Something like, do you have a number? Because I don't like talking on here, or something. I was thinking, why would you approach it like that? Then I thought, do you know what, Leanne, open your mind. You need to get 20 dates somehow. So just maybe give him your number. You've got the eSIM, give him your number. Gave him my number, and he literally just called me. Literally just like that. That night, we literally spoke for hours, to the point where I was like, I've got to go, because I thought, Leanne, you're 28 years old. What are you doing on the phone with a man for hours that you just spoke to? No, we're not doing all that. I'm not gonna lie, I really felt like we connected straight away. I understood him, he understood me, and he had the energy that I liked. Because I think a lot of people in the dating scene that I've noticed are very like bare minimum, lackluster energy, like I don't give a fuck energy, nonchalant energy. That's not the energy that's gonna run with me. If you're dating me, you have to be at least somewhat excited to be dating me, because it's like, it's me. But all jokes aside, I think everyone deserves someone to be a bit excited about them. There needs to be some sort of that, and he really had that energy. Like from the start, his communication was great. I could tell he was very well trained. Again, the following day we spoke on the phone for a stupid amount of hours, and I just thought, I can't keep doing this. It was literally like 7 hours or something. I know I'm not the type of girl to be on the phone to random men for hours, but that it just showed how much we clicked. Like, no notes, he'd planned our dates out. I think in terms of like his personality and his character and what I know that he'd do for me and bring to me as a partner, it's exactly what I'm looking for. Long story short, it didn't work out because he said something outrageous, but like it also represented just his mindset, and I just thought no. So that was done and dusted. But one thing I will say, even though that didn't work out, it validated that what I wanted is not too much to ask for, literally, because it was the first person I matched with. It validated that what I want is out there, the communication, the energy, all of that stuff, and someone who would take their time to really understand me. So the next guy it's actually hilarious. The next guy was the complete opposite. So you see how this one was like, we matched straight away, we clicked straight away, everything kind of fell into place straight away. I understood him, he understood me. This was the complete opposite. The second guy was such a slow, like he matched with me, and I can't remember what he said. I think he'd popped up to one of my prompts. What he said was kind of funny, I think, from what I remember. And so we were talking for a bit, and then he's like, oh, I'd love to take you out. Gave him my number again of the eSIM phone on my Hinge phone. And then we were talking for a bit, but you know what's so funny? He never made the initiative to call me. It was just text, which I found really weird. Something that I know about myself is that in relationships, I can be very dominant. Like I can be very much like, do this, do that, do this. And I don't want to be that role, because it's hard for me to respect someone who I've told to do this. You know what I mean? I just want you to use your own initiative. And there we go. And so I thought, you know what? I'm not going to tell him call me. If he does it, great. If he doesn't, it is what it is. I'm just going to, whatever he does, he does. And so we were texting. I don't know. I've noticed that a lot of men love text. Like you're incarcerated. Like I don't get it. It's like they want a pen pal. Text. Like what the hell? But anyway, he was just texting. I said no problem. He had quite a social media presence, and so I just went through all of his stuff, and I verified that he wasn't a weirdo, he wasn't a creep, because we didn't have a call, so I couldn't notice that for myself. But he was very good looking, and he was in a great profession. He seemed to have come with energy, although the texts were very much like lackluster energy, I'm not gonna lie. But I thought, okay, cool. It was just the complete opposite from the first match that was like spark straight away. This was just like But I thought, okay, cool, that's fine. It might just be a slow burn. Maybe he's shy, whatever. You know how usually men say the most, like from their words, it seems like they want to do the most, but from their actions, they don't do anything. This was the opposite. Like he didn't say much. The text conversations were very dry, but his actions showed that, okay, cool, I'm serious, because his actions like to plan the date, to do this, to do that. And I was just like, okay, this is I've never experienced this before in my life. The first date with him, right? It was just okay. It was fine. like I said, it kind of gave his behavior on the date kind of gave like similar vibes as on the text. It kind of just gave like, I don't want to say nonchalant, because you know what, I hate that shit, but it was kind of just super 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 laid back, like super, which I don't mind, but I did feel like I was kind of carrying the conversation on my back, which is fine because I can talk for England, as you guys can probably tell in this video. I don't know, I felt like I was carrying the conversation and I didn't really know how he felt from the date. One of my friends told me that she thinks that this is not that deep, but to me it's very deep because I don't recall him being like, oh, you look nice, or oh, anything like that when I got there, which was very odd because I'm like, I didn't know if he was attracted to me. I didn't know if he liked my vibe. I just couldn't tell. Anyway, at the end of the day, he had said to me like, oh, so am I going to see you again? Which I was taken aback by, to be honest. Like, I was confused because I felt like, personally, if it was down to me, I wouldn't have gone on another date because I just felt nothing. One thing I will say is I don't think everything requires a spark. And I do think sometimes the instant connections, I do think sometimes that can get a bit toxic, if you know what I mean, because you're just so instantly connected. It can be like a whirlwind. I think sometimes the slower burn and the slower whatever is actually better. And so I was definitely very much open. I agreed to go on a second date with him. I was just confused that he wanted to because it didn't really seem like he did, but he said that he did, so okay. And then like even when I got home, he doubled down. He was like, oh, I'll figure out what we're gonna do for the next day. I said, no problem. Okay, we were texting back and forth. Again, it was the same like kind of boring lackluster conversation, not gonna lie, which I did try to like spice up. I tried to ask him questions, but it was just the same dry ass energy, whatever. I thought, do you know what, maybe when I see him again, you know, and I did want to suggest like, let's do an activity instead of dinner, because we got dinner and drinks, which I think was actually very awkward. I wish we'd just gone to like golf or something fun. Maybe then I would have seen the fun side of him. So I was hoping that he suggests that we do something fun. Anyway, so what happened is we didn't actually end up going on a second date because, so we were texting, and then he was telling me, oh, I've got to sell my car. If he ever watches this, awkward. Anyway, he was telling me, oh, I've got to sell my car. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. And then his communication kind of like dropped off and I didn't really hear from him. And I thought, respectfully, like he's done me a favor. So I don't have to be like, oh, I'm not, whatever. He's done me a favor. Hadn't really heard from him, no problem. So we had kind of like penciled in Thursday for our next date, but nothing was really confirmed. And again, because I hadn't really heard from him in a few days, I was like, oh, okay, no date happening. Me and my friend randomly ended up booking a trip to Paris just for a few days, just for no reason. And we went on, I think we went on Wednesday. Yeah, went on Wednesday, came back on Friday. So on Wednesday, as in the day before that we were meant to have the date, he messaged me and was like, hey, sorry, I've been super stressed and busy. This car situation has really been stressing me out. Mind you, the car situation is him selling his car. Baby, put it on Auto Trader. It takes about 10 minutes. That is just the most pathetic excuse ever. Like, it doesn't take all day to sell your car. And he was like, I've been super stressed with this car situation. I was like, oh, no worries. Like, if I don't care, I'm not gonna be like, I was just like, oh, no worries, that sounds super stressful, like I really hope that you sort it out. And then he was like, yeah, like it was really stressful, this happened, that happened. And he was like, anyway, for our date tomorrow, what do you want to do? Is there anything that you have in mind that you want to do? Babe, I was like, oh, I'm in Paris. Like, didn't hear from me. I didn't realize the date was even still going ahead, like, sorry. And he was like, oh, like, what are you doing there? And I was like, oh, no reason, just came for fun. You guys can tell me if you think that I'm in the wrong, but I just feel like if you actually gave a shit, which clearly you don't, and you don't have to. This is the thing about like rules in dating and stuff, because I guess it's kind of weird. I guess you don't really have the right to be like, oh, what are you doing in Paris? I thought we had a date. But it's like, I mean, I know I would have been, if I had plans with someone who told me that they were in Paris, I would be like, wait, why? Like, I thought we had plans tomorrow. That's what I would have personally said. He didn't say that, and that's how that ended. So I think one thing that I know that I 100% need is I need some energy. I just cannot work with the nonchalance, the bare minimum. I can't do it. I'm excited about myself. I've literally turned into my dream woman. Like, so if you're not excited about me, I can't. And you guys can call that whatever you want. And also the lack of compliment. Do you know why that was so funny? Because when I was on my way home from the date, as I was walking home, this group of men had approached me and was like, oh, you're so beautiful, I'd really like your number. And again, not my type, but it was just funny because it's like, these randomers on the street can tell me how beautiful I am, whatever. And you as my date, who I've literally made the effort for, because I had nothing else to do that day, I literally made the effort for you, and you can't even tell me that I look good. Like, you know, no, it was just, no. Next. You know what? Let me just group up all of the ghostings into one group. So I was ghosted 1, 2, well, I guess 1, 2, 3 times. They would always come back and be like, oh my gosh, this happened, sorry, I've been busy, like, how are you? To which I'd always say no worries, and then just never reply, never engage further. There was this one guy who had told me that he'd booked Nobu, And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be because I had a work event that I needed to attend in Central. So I was like, okay, well, I'm happy to meet you after if you want. And he was like, yeah. Didn't hear from him until literally the day of, as in while I was in the event. And he was like, oh, sorry, I should have communicated. Yeah, we can do no booze today if you're free. Sorry, didn't respond because what? Again, some other guy suggested, let's go out, whatever. No problem. Didn't hear from him. No problem. And then they'll pop back up like, oh, sorry, no problem. All the best. That happened 3 times. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of how many men I matched with and how many men I spoke to, not that bad. I think it's inevitable almost, like when you're going on these types of apps and dating apps in general, you're going to experience, like, again, men that are avoidant, men that are probably like got girlfriends and like that. So it doesn't faze me, but again, you're just not the one for me. The trash takes itself out. Like when you do that, your trash is taking itself out. So thank you, babe, you're doing me a favor. Guys, let me tell you about this one I'm going on a date with today. Gave him my number, we spoke, he planned a date. I actually had to cancel. So I had to cancel because I had a deadline. And so I was like, so sorry to be a pain, but I'm gonna have to cancel. I've got a deadline, whatever. And he was like, no problem. When I cancelled, I was like, oh, let's just have a phone conversation instead. Which again, I didn't really want to be the one to suggest because I feel like it just kind of, it establishes that type of dynamic where I'm telling you, do this, and I just don't want that. But I just thought, you know what, I've cancelled. Let me suggest something. So I said, let's just have a phone call instead, which we did. The phone call was fine. Honestly, after the phone call, I thought, oh, I'm never speaking to him again. Not anything bad against him, but I just thought, oh, it's one of them ones where we're just never going to pick up. He went on holiday, to which we didn't speak the whole time. Fine, again, no problem. And then when he came back, he actually messaged me and was like, oh, hey, I'm back. Like, let's plan for a date. So some of my friends are like, yeah, he was on holiday. At least he told you, and at least you guys didn't speak. Some of my other friends are like, no, it's unacceptable that he didn't talk to you while on holiday. I don't really have a stance on this because I don't really care that he didn't speak to me while on holiday. The only thing is it did make me completely lose interest. And so he was like, okay, cool, I'm back. Like, let's go out this weekend. And I was like, okay, no problem. Then he was like, actually, no, can you do next weekend instead? Like, sorry, what? And I was just like, whatever. We're kind of talking here and there, small talk, whatever. And then one day I was like, you have free will. You don't need to respond if you don't want to, because just the aimless, non-stop texting about small talk, I've got things to do. I don't want to be doing this. And so I literally just stopped. He had done nothing wrong. Again, it was nothing to do with him. Like, he's a very, very cool guy from what I can see from the text and stuff. But I just lost interest. Again, like, I was talking to people on the phone, I was going out with people, and then I'm endlessly texting. Ultimately, he is a stranger. And so I was just like, I don't have to do this. This is kind of bad. Does that count as ghosting? Maybe it does, but whatever. I don't ghost though. I'm not a ghoster. If I do feel like there's some sort of rapport there, I will definitely tell you. Like with the first guy that I matched with, I had explained to him why this is not going to work and why it wasn't a match. If I feel like it requires it, I definitely will let you know what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking it. But if I feel like it doesn't require it, like Mr. Paris, the guy who didn't give a f*** I was in Paris, I thought, it's clearly just fizzled out and run its course. I didn't need to say. Same with this. I just felt like there's nothing really to say. Like, it's just a case of it's fizzled out. We haven't met yet. It is what it is. So I didn't say anything. This was a few days ago. He had popped up and was like, hey, can we do this Friday or Saturday? But I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be out on Saturday anyway. If anything, I can just meet him after. It's not going to do anything extra on my day. It's not going to subtract anything from my life. Let me just go. I said to him, hey, no worries. I can go. I can do Saturday. And he said, oh, okay, that's fine. If possible, can we do Friday, just because it'll be easier for me? I said, I can't do Friday, but don't worry if you can't do Saturday, or if Saturday's too tricky for you. I think let's just take this as a sign that we haven't been able to meet up for a reason. Let's just take it as a sign that this is not meant to be. That's basically what I said, because it shouldn't be this dragged out, like, surely. And then he was like, I just was seeing if you could do Friday. I've booked Saturday for 7:30 p.m. So I was just like, okay. And so yeah, this one is still pending. He did offer to pick me up, to which I declined. So we'll see. I will have to update you guys on that. By my 5th match, even though this was meant to be just for fun and for my 51st date series or whatever, it did start to kind of take its toll on me mentally, just because I was just like, oh my god, there's so much bullshit that I have to deal with. Like, I feel like when you go on dating apps, you have to kind of brace yourself to deal with it, because it's guaranteed that is going to happen. It doesn't matter how good you look, it doesn't matter how open you are, it doesn't matter. There's going to be some that you're gonna have to deal with. I was just thinking, how am I gonna get to 20 when I felt drained? I was just like, what even am I doing with myself and my life? Like, seriously. And it's funny because I wasn't even taking that serious. Like, it was a bit of a laugh, Danielle. And even so, like, I still was like, oh, this is just so long. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Before I deleted the app, There was one last guy that I had matched with, gave him my number, my eSIM number. Mind you, on his Hinge profile, it said that he was looking for a life partner, and that he was 29. Was he 29 or 30? I don't remember. Guys, I wish I could show you like pictures, names, occupations, all of that stuff, but I find that to be so invasive. I know that I wouldn't like it, so I'm not going to do it, but I will tell you like details, other things, okay? So with him, yeah, I gave him my eSIM number because I thought, oh, I fancy you, like you look really good, and I didn't really want to be on Hinge anymore. It was starting to drain me, so I just gave him my number of my eSIM. And the text, oh my god. Now my friend said that I'm the problem in this situation, and you guys can let me know, maybe I was. I think by this point I was extremely frustrated, so maybe I genuinely was. I don't think I was. He messaged me and he said, straight to number, not even socials, you like me that much? I wasn't amused. And listen guys, I am up for a laugh just as much as the next person. I'm never serious. There's a few like dates and stuff that I've missed out, or if you guys want, let me know and I can do a part 2. There's actually quite a few that I've missed out, but I can't get through all of this in this video. So he said, straight to number, not even socials, you like me that much? And then I go, lol, skull, one act to another is crazy. And then he goes, yeah, but I would have got to see more of you. I don't know what it is with grown-ass men these days. As you understand, if you're a university student, you're a college student, you don't really know how to talk to girls yet, so you need their social media to kind of like give you something to speak about. As someone who's almost 30 years old, you should have developed some conversational skills to be able to speak to a girl without having to pop up on her story. And when it comes to dating and stuff, I don't give anyone my socials, unless obviously we've become more serious. I don't give anyone my socials. I feel like people start to act very odd when they see my socials. That's kind of the thing with dating being hyper visible. People start to just move so weird when they see like your Instagram page, because this is mine, you guys don't know. When they see your Instagram page and they see your following or whatever, they really start to act odd. They just don't know how to act, and I'd just rather remove that aspect. Also, like, I don't want you as a man to have to know what to say or only pop up to me when I post a story. That is one of my biggest pet peeves in the fucking world. As grown men, you shouldn't need me to post a story for you to then pop up with heart eyes or pop up with something to say. Think of something. Hey, how are you? How's your day? Can I call you? To actually get to know me, not, you know, I don't need socials. Also as well, you know, if you're dating and then it doesn't work out and then they're just on your Instagram feed, they're just one of the people that just watch your stories for the rest of your life. I don't need you on my stories as a failed dating stage or as a failed, I don't need you on my social media. I just find it so weird that people ask for socials instead of, like, how can I give you my number and you're asking for my socials instead at your huge age? I just honestly just found that so ridiculous. And again, it just goes to show like where we're going in terms of social media ruining dating. I go, use your imagination, XX. Then he goes, I'm a visual learner. Then my imagination takes off. No, like, all jokes aside, what are you talking about? Then I go, lol, no, what happened to normal conversation? Then he goes, if it was normal, you'd forget me. Mind you, I think this is like one reply a day. Then I go, skull, is this you saying that you're forgettable? He goes, that was a good one, I can't lie, made me laugh. Sorry, is this convo going somewhere, or are we just gonna... Again, this is the type of shit that you gotta deal with, guys. Just a disclaimer, if you are gonna download the dating app, especially as someone who hasn't used an app before, this is the type of shit you gotta deal with. Just nonsense. Because when I looked at his Hinge profile, I thought, oh my gosh, you could actually be the love of my life. You could be my soulmate. It just gave great vibes. He was posting with his dog. He just seemed extremely wholesome. I think that's what I liked about his page. It gave wholesome. And from the messages, I was like, this is not really lining up with what I thought I was going to get. On his thing, it said he's described as a golden retriever or something like that. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a wholesome king. Just to be hit with that. I think dating and like genuinely, I don't know, I think it can be a very lonely, frustrating journey. Again, like, this was very frustrating, even though it was just for fun and kind of an experiment, kind of not, because again, I do want to settle down. Like, especially, I've never been, it's weird because when I was single when I was younger, I didn't care. I was out every day. I was such a party girl. I was out every day. Most of the people around me were also single as well. I was having fun. I was living my life. Now it's different because, again, like, I feel like I've outgrown that part of my life. And I feel like I'm kind of in a limbo. And, you know, everyone around me settling down. And I've outgrown the things that I used to love. Like, I used to love going out. And now I'm in this place where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next chapter. But, I mean, clearly the next chapter is not ready for me. So, I don't know. I think if you are going to download dating apps, I think just you have to, one, be extremely open, I think, for them to be successful. Because my friend also had the apps for a while. I think she's looking for something extremely specific, so she hasn't had the same experience as me. It's funny because when I was telling her about all of my matches, she was like, you're blessed. I'm like, this has got nothing to do with being blessed, like, at all. Like, my filters are I'm very open. Like, I'm 5'4". The shortest that I go for is like 5'7" and up. So it's quite a broad range, whereas I know some people want only 5'10" or 6+, which is fine. Again, every single person is entitled to their preferences, but I think for this app to work the best, you definitely have to be open. Also, you have to kind of give people the benefit of the doubt, because I think that's what I've done. Like, when people say things, you kind of have to think, okay, cool, maybe they didn't mean it like that, maybe they didn't mean it like this. That's the only way that I made it to the dating phase, because I feel like a lot of the times men said something and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I would never want them to say that, but then they didn't mean it like that. I don't know. I definitely do think that you can meet the love of your life on Hinge. I definitely do. I've seen it. I know that people have. I think it is rare though. I think you have to sift through so much bullshit. It's literally like sifting through the trash. All jokes aside, it's like sifting through the trash and then you might find a diamond. It's like, you know what I mean? It's definitely possible, but you do have to go through so much bullshit. I haven't paid for the app, so I don't know if that experience is any different if you pay for it. I really don't know. In conclusion, I think it's possible to find love anywhere. I'm not that determined to find love right now, to be honest with you. I think I've got other things that I care about. Obviously, it would be lovely to meet someone, but I'm not gonna tolerate like being treated like shit. Like, being on the app, all jokes aside, genuinely did feel like I put myself on the clearance rack. All jokes aside, it did. It felt like I was putting myself up for sale. And I don't know, it's hard to do when I know my worth. I know how hard I've worked on myself. I have literally worked to become my dream person. And before anyone gives that cliche single ass advice, focus on yourself, I do nothing but, and I've done nothing but. So please, I don't want anyone to say that, oh, it will come to you when you least expect it. Don't want to hear that either. All the cliche shit, I don't want to hear it. I know that you probably mean well, I don't want to hear it. I think conclusion is, you can find love on Hinge if you want. I didn't. We'll see what my date is like today. I don't know if I will, if I won't. But I think it's possible. I don't know. You guys tell me your experience with Hinge or dating apps in general. I'd love to hear it. Please share in the comments below. Please, 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 I'm begging. I need to hear. And also tell me your dating pet peeves, things that you don't tolerate, things that you wouldn't tolerate that I've said that I did. And yeah, guys, I would love to hear from you. So thank you for watching. I really hope that this was helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Head over to my Instagram to keep up with me there at Leanna Manning. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye!